Last episode, we unboxed this beautiful AR1210 and we compared it side by side with the AR630, tested specs, tested sound, tested GPM and pressure. And today what we're gonna do is we're gonna put Porsche versus Ferrari and we're gonna test it against the Kranzle 1622. Now, it's not a great gallons or flow or pressure comparison between the two of them, but really what I want to test is the sound output. This is going to be very similar to the 1322. I purchased this years ago. It's been a trusty workhorse for me because I only had a 15 amp outlet. But when we built the new garage, we put a 20 amp outlet in to help support more GPM, a better washing experience. So today we're going to put these two to the test on sound. We're going to get this thing up on the wall, and then you're going to want to stay tuned to the end of the episode to show you what I've got coming next. That is the one single thing that can completely change your car washing game in your garage. Stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Detached Garage. We are all about the name of science today, and more specifically, a little less science than last episode since we're only testing the dB output of these two units. If you remember, this 1210 is much quieter than the 630. It's the housing, it's just more of a premium product, and it's a really, really nice sound. Now, this Kranzle unit is great. It's advertised on the unit, you can see here, at 84 decibels. So we're gonna do the same test we did last time where we're 11 feet away from the unit. We'll run it on load and we'll see what it comes up with for the decibel test. Then we're making some big changes in the garage today and you guys can win on this situation. I am actually going to be taking this entire active wall mount down and selling it to one of you guys for a highly discounted price. So if you're interested in never used or barely used, rolled twice the hose on that reel, drop a link in the comments below, shoot me a DM on Instagram, and we'll get that sold. Plus, I think I'm gonna be selling the Kranzle as well at a heavily discounted price. It is used after all. So let me know, ship anywhere in the continental US. So put your comments down below if you're interested in any of those two units at a heavily discounted price. The reason for that is I'm gonna put this up on the wall after we do the test and show you why we're getting rid of this. So let's flip the camera around. Let's get these things tested on sound, and then we'll start the removal and installation of this beautiful pressure washer on my wash bay wall. All right, guys, we've got the Mosmatic gun wand and the same AR nozzle that we used on the 1210 as well as the 630 comparison. So we'll be equal there. We're not really doing a GPM or anything like that. We're just testing the noise on these two units. So I've got the decibel meter up on my phone here. We're gonna spray into this bucket so we can reduce the amount of noise that is gonna come from the water spraying, and we will go from there. All right, let's do this. All right, so we've basically got 71 decibels. So a little bit quieter than the AR1210 on load, but if you remember in the previous episode, we tested the 1210 on bypass and it was right around that same amount. So slightly louder, I would say, because I think we were, 73 in the last episode? Tell me in the comments below. I can't remember the exact number, but it is slightly quieter than the 1210. So the AR630 is the loudest, the beautiful 1210 is right in the middle, and only 2 dB less is the Kranzle. But the Kranzle is not putting out nearly the flow that these other two units are. So let's get the Kranzle disconnected, get it ready for sale, drop a comment if you're interested, and let's start pulling things off the wall so we can get this beautiful stainless steel mounted today. And be sure to stay tuned after we get this thing mounted to see what's coming next. That's the #1 thing that will absolutely change your wash bay situation. So a lot of you are probably asking why I'm selling this active combination shelf hose reel wand holder, gun holder mount, and this is the reason why. This doesn't fit. It is hanging off the edge here on the front, and these are on the back. So I just am gonna wall mount this thing, and we've got something else coming up at the end of the episode that I'm gonna talk to you about. So it's a great unit, but it just doesn't serve the purpose. So let me take this down and show you that the Kranzle actually does fit. So this thing is a great unit if you're going to get an active, if you're gonna get an AR630 or something, or Kranzle or smaller unit, but not the 1210. This thing is really a crown jewel. It's big, it's bulky, it's meant to be a rock and last the long haul and also look fantastic on the wall. So as you can see, the Kranzle fits just fine up here. An AR630 or 635 would look fantastic up here as well. Might need a few fittings to get the hose connected. It's a great unit, and I'm probably gonna sell this setup for probably right around 700 bucks. So if you're interested, put that down in the comments below. Let's get this Kranzle down. Let's get this taken off the wall and put back in the brand new box. Again, not really used except for setting a few things up here. So then we can get the 1210 up on the wall. All right guys, so if you remember from the install video, this actually goes onto a wall mount that gets installed first. So you're gonna need a 10 mil and a 13 mil to get that loose. Let's get this loosened up, take it off the wall mount. All right, the unit itself's off. Let's get this wall mount off. Okay, so new plan. I'm going to take this top cover off of the unit. That way I can access the wall mount panel much easier, and I can make a template off of this to put up there, draw where the holes are gonna go, and go from there. So let's get this cover off and let's start making a template. All right, I got my chip clips, I got a piece of cardboard. Hey, it's not dumb if it works. And so we're going to get this lined up here, get our chip clips in place, and then we are going to trace these openings here. Once we get the openings traced, we will punch a hole for the center one, and then we will get it up on the wall for where it needs to go. You don't want this beautiful unit just going on the wall with any hardware. So I went out and got some stainless steel lag bolts. These are 5/16, and that's important because you want the head to fit through and then also not go through when you lock in place. So I also got these stainless steel washers that are backed with rubber, thinking vibration on the wall. And then I also got some of these grommets here. Probably gonna switch these out to some rubber washers, but I'll have links to all the hardware below. So let's get our template up on the wall with this guy, and then we can drill the other holes that are gonna be up there. All right guys, so we've got the template up. I've marked the 2 holes on either side here. We still should have plenty of clearance between the water inlet and the unit itself. So let's get this template pulled down. We will drill some 3/16 holes for the 5/16 lag bolt, pilot holes just to make sure this doesn't split. And then we will get these lag bolts installed. Let's get to it. All right, guys, so we've got it mounted on the wall. I've got 2 bolts in right now that are not fully secured, so it's just hanging off the wall. But the reason I did that is because I still want to get those rubber washers in, so I need to get this bolt in while it's on the wall. Then I'll back one bolt out at a time to get this thing fully secured to the wall and leveled and everything like that. And also put a washer back behind to make sure we're not vibrating the wall as much. But everything looks good. 75 pounds on the wall, held on by 2 lag bolts. And these are pretty short lag bolts. I'm gonna use 2-inch on the side, and I'm going to use 3-inch in the center here so we get into this stud back here. So that's what we're doing. Let's get this going. Okay, so here's the predicament. I don't have quite enough room to get the impact on here. So what I'm going to do is just drive this in with a 3/8 wrench, and then once I have enough room, then I will get this in and drive it the rest of the way. That looks awesome. We've got this thing mounted. We've got, look how level that is. Yes, it's on this, but even back here, it is nice and level. So let's get this cover back up here, put back on, and then we can start looking at how we're gonna route water and how we're gonna mount this hose reel up here. That 1210 looks amazing on the wall. We've got the top cover on. I ran the cord over here. We're definitely gonna need to shorten the cord. But the one thing I wanted to let you know and kind of let you know on this little secret that I was gonna talk to you about in the end of the episode is why we're doing this in the first place. So I've got a Cox hose reel down here, and I've got this special little valve. And so a lot of you probably already know what this means since I'm holding this valve, but for those of you who don't, this is a 3-way valve. So what that's gonna do is allow us to take the high pressure water coming out of this unit, send it into this, and then we have 2 positions where that valve can divert it. It can either divert it to the Cox hose reel, which will be mounted right here, or, and here's the surprise, it can divert it to our Mosmatic boom pole that's gonna go on the wall. That's right, next episode, we're gonna do a full installation of this boom pole. But for right now, let's get back to focus here. We gotta put this Cox hose reel on the wall, somewhere down here, and leave room over here for that valve to sit. Now, the valve, high pressure, stainless steel, really functional and useful, but I would say some design challenges are that it doesn't really have a good way to mount it to the wall unless you're using straps. So I'm probably gonna 3D print a mount that this goes into so we can actually mount it securely to the wall here and then put our Cox hose reel here so this can still articulate up and down so we can send high pressure water to the reel or to the boom pole. I am so excited. I hope you guys are too. So let's get to mounting this Cox hose reel. So we're doing a lot of CAD today, and if you don't know, that's cardboard aided design. We've got this hole pattern here. We're gonna get this mounted on the wall. So let's drill some holes, let's get this marked, and then we will get that Cox hose reel mounted on the wall. So my video stopped because my phone ran out of storage, but we've got the Cox hose reel mounted on the wall. We use the same rubber coated washers and as well as these 2-inch long 5/16 stainless steel lag bolts. So we've got that up, we've got the drag set. So now we need to get the hose threaded into this fitting here. And then we'll start figuring out where this valve is actually going to go on the wall right here. All right, so here's the big challenge. You've got 100 feet of hose and you need to thread it onto this fitting here. So what's gonna work best is if you coil up the hose first, and then you've got your whip that you're going to put the Teflon tape on, and then put that in there. That way you can pick this whole thing up and spin it as you twist this end into that fitting up there. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's get the camera on the stand and get some Teflon tape rolling. All right, guys, so more difficult than it looks, but we've got the Cobra Jet hose onto the Cox hose reel. 100 feet of it, 3/8 hose. Really excited about this. But this is probably gonna become my secondary situation when we wanna go outside here, wash outside, unreel that 100 feet of hose and go there. My primary is probably going to be the boom. And so that boom pole, we're doing two. We're doing a wall mount as well as the ceiling mount. So that wall mount will kick it out about 6.5 feet. And then we've got the other one that is your normal ceiling boom that mounts to that. That will go quite a few more feet after that. So it'll probably go just past the drain. And so we'll have plenty of whip to get around a car. Really excited about that. We'll talk about that in the next episode. This 1210 looks so good on the wall. I can't wait to get this setup finalized and start using it. If you are at all interested in the Kranzle and the active combination shelf hose reel wall mount, let me know in the comments below. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. Happy to sell that to you and ship it anywhere in the continental US. If you have any questions about mounting that Cox hose reel, I'll have hardware links in the description, product links in the description as well. Real excited to get onto the boom pole for the next episode. Thank you so much for watching Detached Garage and following along with this journey. I hope to catch you on the next episode.